Yes, very good. So those are the example of microbes. So now we are going to talk about another topic. It's about life cycles. So everything from start to finish. Okay. So let's start with. Okay. So can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. So here, let's talk about first what is a life cycle. Okay, so can you read the first paragraph, Lee?
Life is always changing, but it follows patterns too. Living things, including ourselves, grow, produce, young, and die. There are repeating processes for non-living things too, from mountains, rocks, and rivers to planets, comets, and stars. We call all these patterns life cycles.
Okay, so again, life is always changing. So have you heard the phrase that life is dynamic? So it follows patterns too. Living things, including ourselves, grow, produce young, and die. So have you noticed that people starts with or it starts from newborn baby. After that, it will grow to what? Kid, and then teen, then adults, and after that, they will grow old. And after being too old, it will. What happens next?
Will die.
Yes, and as well as the plants has the same life cycle. Plants will grow, and after several years, let's say for example a tree. After several years, the tree will also die. So that is what we call patterns or the life cycle. Okay, so now life cycles are interlinked. So meaning it is connected to one another. So let's say for example plants. Plants take nutrients and water from the soil and energy from sunlight. Animals eat plants or other animals in order to grow. And many plants rely on animals such as insects to spread their pollen so they can make seeds and reproduce. Okay, so what animals can help plants to reproduce? So we have bird. What else? We have
Um,
bees. How about butterflies? Yeah, so those are the examples of some animals that can carry out the pollens of plants and um, that helps the plants to reproduce. Okay, next, when plants and animals die, their remains rot and become part of the soil that will nourish new plants. Okay, so do you also notice that if there are dead leaves or dead trunks, so that is called what? Biodegradable material, right? So bio means that can be what? That can be replaced as
as
what?
mm, life cycle.
No, that will be added to soil so that the nutrients will go to the plants and the plants will grow healthier. Okay, so that are fertilizers. Okay, so next, the life cycles we see around us appear endless. So birth and growth are balanced by breakdown and decay. Yet these cycles can be fragile. Change, whether natural or caused by humans, can disrupt them. So vulnerable species may dwindle to extinction when their cycle get broken. While over million of years, new species emerge by evolution. Okay, so do you know some animals that is already instinct?
Yeah.
Okay, can you give one example, Lee?
I think is um
Okay, I will give you example. How about T-Rex or dinosaur? So can you still see a dinosaur nowadays?
no.
Okay, so dinosaurs nowadays remain in history only, but in many years ago, they what? They exist, right?
Yeah.
What else?
Um is uh I think is
Okay, maybe some of the wild animals from what? From the wild or the forest, right? So we
yeah.
cannot see wild animals nowadays. Let's say, for example, wild pig. Have you seen wild pig before?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so Earth and space. Our Earth is constantly changing. Rocks wear away and get recycled into new rocks, while water circulates between sea, sky, and land. So remember our topic about soil. The soil will what? Absorb water and help to prevent flood. Okay, but the water from the soil or the water from the rivers and seas will evaporate through what? Clouds. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and when the clouds is already filled with water, that will be darkened, and after that it will fall as what?
Fall as
Rain. Yes. So imagine, so that is also a cycle. So meaning what? Meaning it's get recycled. The water from soil will evaporate to the clouds and then it will fall down as rain and be water again. Right? And also in spacely, comets and stars form from gas and dust, burn out, then return to gas and dust. Can you imagine that?
and no.
Okay, so here Earth's life cycles are tiny fractions of the age of the universe. So imagine this, Lee, 13.8 billion years. So this is the Earth life cycle.
Yeah.
Okay, so next we have, oh, look at this. So these are the insects that helps the pollens to spread and reproduce. So seeds form when female egg cells in plants are fertilized by pollen or the male sex cells. Each seed contains the beginning of a new plant. Okay, look at this. Sexual life cycles. Can you read that, Lee?
Mm, Sexual life cycle. Sexual reproduction involves two parents, male and female, and each supplies a sex cells. The female egg cell fills joins with the male sperm cell in a process called fertilization. The egg develops into a new animal or plant.
Okay, so this is how sexual life cycle. So sexual reproduction involves two parents, so that the male and female, and each supplies a sex cell. So the female egg cell fuses or join with the male sperm cell in a process called fertilization, and then the fertilized egg develops into a new animal or plant, as well as human. So have you learned that already? That if a male um, cell or the female egg cells with the male sperm cell, they will meet and then they will join together. Then that will form a zygote. After a zygote, that will become an embryo. After embryo, that will become a full term baby or human. Okay, so that is how sexual life cycle um, pattern. Here next, look at this. This dolphin, is it dolphin?
Yes.
Okay. So, do you still remember, Lee, that dolphin is also a mammal?
Yeah.
Okay. So, in almost all mammals, the babies develop inside the female's body after mating, and she gives birth to live young. So, what do you mean by mammal? Mammal, Lee, are the animals or human that give birth to other animals. Let's say, for example, a dog gave birth to a dog. A dolphin will give birth to a dolphin. How about a human? Does human can give birth to a cat?
No.
No, so it's impossible. So a human is mammal, so what? Only baby human will be birthed by a human mommy or human mother. Okay. So that is how the mammals what? Reproduce. Next, most fish release their eggs or sperm straight into the water. Their fertilization occurs. Okay, so most of the fishes lay eggs in the water. So we also learned that already, that most eggs um, of fish will stay in the water, and there are also kinds of fish that I think that is a male fish that will look after the eggs, and he will he will stay with the eggs until the eggs hatches to a fish. Okay. Next, asexual life cycles. So some plants and animals reproduce asexually, meaning from a single parent, the young develop from unfertilized eggs or form from a small part of the parent. The young are exact replicas or copies of their parents. Okay, let's say for example, dandelion flowers can make seeds asexually without needing to be pollinated. Okay, look at this. So another one, new rocks form underground or when hot lava that erupts from volcanoes cools and hardens. Okay, so one of the example of the um, rocks that form in the sides of a volcanoes are what came from the very hot lava. Next, look at this. What do you think the picture is? What do you think, Lee?
Mm, I think it's galaxy.
Galaxy, and based on the picture, it's like a planet that bumped together, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So here, now any question about the living or the our topic life cycle?
I don't have a question.
Okay. So next we will talk about space. Oh, sorry. Okay, so we will talk about space. Okay, can you read this, Lee, please?
Hay hay is
And
uni-
unimaginably huge.
unimaginably huge and full of exciting things, such as planets, moons, galaxies, and black holes. It is also constantly changing. Stars form from beautiful clouds of dust and gases, evolve through their life cycle to slowly die away, or go out with an enormous bang. Everything that has or will ever be formed was created in Spain, including the building blocks of you.
Yes. Okay, so space is an imaginably huge and full of exciting things such as planets, moons, galaxies, and black holes. So it is also constantly changing. Stars form from beautiful clouds of dust and gas, evolve through their life cycle to slowly die away or go out with an enormous bang. Okay. So everything that has or will ever be formed was created in space, including the building blocks of you. So, what do you mean by space? Anything that has more room, more room to live or to fill in. Okay, so that is a space. Okay, look at this. So, there are some theories about the space. Okay, the first one, Lee, is the Big Bang theory. Okay, so more than 13 billion years ago, the universe began as a tiny point, smaller than as a tiny point, smaller than a grain of salt. In a single huge explosion, the universe, including space and time, sprung into existence. As it expanded in all directions, it began to cool down. Okay, so that was the Big Bang theory. Another theory, a few minutes old, quarks. Can you say quarks, Lee?
Quarks? Quarks.
Yes. Okay. The building blocks of all materials form tiny subatomic particles called protons and neutrons. The universe was now cool enough to let these particles combine to become simple nuclei, the center of atoms. Okay. How about the 380,000 years old? Can you read it, please?
The universe was finally cool enough for the nuclei to grab hold of electrons, forming complete atoms. The universe became an expanding, whirling mass of gas.
Okay, so aside from these three theories, the Big Bang, a few minutes old, and 300,000 years old theory, we also have 3 million years old theory. So it says that over time, the gas of the universe was pulled into clumps by gravity. As these clumps collapsed, they got hot, and the first stars were born. Okay, so that was all the theory of how the space or the universe was created. Okay, so here, let's talk about the universe. But, okay, our universe is everything there is. the galaxies, stars, planets, moons, and even space and time. So the universe is so incredible and vast that it is difficult to fully understand, even if we on planet Earth are just one tiny speck in the universe, and it will perhaps always remain a mystery to us. Okay, so have you also wondered how the universe came? How do people was able to live in the earth? Have you also wondered about that, Lee?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess our time is already over. I'm sorry about my voice again, Lee.
No
Okay.
problem.
Yeah. Okay. So thanks for coming in my class tonight, Lee, and I will see you on mm,
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday. All right. So thank you and bye bye for now. Good night.
Bye bye. Good night. Thank you.